Good morning, good afternoon for some. We've got NASCAR. It is Sunday. NASCAR's finally back after about 8 or 9 weeks. I was actually there at the last live race. Unfortunately, this live race isn't going to have any fans. Still extremely excited, especially from a DFS perspective. Daily Fantasy NASCAR live show here, the Real Heroes 500 from Darlington Raceway. Joining me, special guest, Dane Shinault. He's our NASCAR expert over at rotopros.com. How you doing today, Dane? On a level of 1 to 10, how excited are you?
Oh, it's got to be over a 10. Thanks for having me on, and glad to have NASCAR back. Glad to have some sports starting to come back, and it's been a long couple months off.
Yeah, it sure has. It's been, we've been playing a little bit of everything. League of Legends, we've been playing. You've got Bundesliga soccer going on right now. League of Legends, Kenny's been absolutely crushing it over there on Roto Pros. We're waiting on that. That season's going to be starting here right away. We've got Korean baseball that's been going pretty good for us. So we've just been kind of touching a little bit of everything out there, and just to keep us going. But so happy that NASCAR is back. Like I said, it's the Real Heroes 400 from Darlington Raceway. So what they're going to do here, just a little bit about the schedule, is we've got 7 races in the first 10 days that NASCAR announced. So we're going to have the Cup race today. We've got an Xfinity race on Tuesday. I'll have sheet. We'll probably even do a show for it. One of us, both of us, there'll be some sort of content for that Xfinity race on Tuesday. Wednesday, cars are back on track. The Cup cars here at Darlington for second race. And then going into next weekend, we've got the Coca-Cola 600 on Sunday. That is a late afternoon start. Goes into the night. That's one of the crown jewel races of the year. And then we go to, we've got another Xfinity race and a truck race as well at Charlotte. And then the schedule goes on. I don't have that up in front of me, but we've got a lot of NASCAR coming. As long as I think things go good in terms of like the COVID-19 stuff, I think we're going to be doing really well, and more races are going to come. I think other sports are going to start to come back. Before we get into the NASCAR breakdowns, I do have a question for you. With today's PGA live event that's going on out there, who is your pick to win for that? Are you going to watch it for one? Who's your pick two?
Well, I would like to place a bet on it, but I don't think I can bet Ricky and Wolf over
No.
Rory and DJ. That's like
doesn't seem fair.
Asking for trouble. I mean, I know I would, in those type of events, though, the underdogs kind of always really come to play because they want to prove something. But I don't know. I'd still say Rory DJ is my pick to win.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be fun to watch, that's for sure. We get some golf and racing on the same day. It's been a long wait, so I'm just going to share while we get into this a little bit. I want to just go over, I guess, I'm just sharing some links in chat here for people to read our articles that we came out with this week. In the meantime, while I'm sharing those, maybe just go over a little bit of your strategy for Darlington in general, what you're kind of looking for this race, especially with no practice and qualifying data.
Yeah, that's going to be the main thing I'm looking for during the race, is going to be able to see who can make adjustments. And that's something I mentioned in my article. Guys are going to have to be able to feel their cars, and a lot of them are really good at that. When they roll out right in practice, they make major adjustments early on after that first practice. Strategy in general, I'm looking at 2, maybe 3 dominators in one lineup, especially in GPPs. Due to the high tire wear here, the bumpy track, it's an old surface, but guys love it. Like you mentioned earlier this week, that's just something I'm looking at. If you see a lot of fall off, you're going to see a lot of or more lead changes, and maybe open up the opportunity for even 3 guys to lead bigger portions of this race than you would normally see.
Yep, I agree. I think some cars are going to be there right off the bat, and I think some cars are going to be, off, and they're going to need a pit stop or 2 to get those adjustments. So one thing I was looking at, and I'm trying to figure out who had shared this here in my Patreon. He had shared, we were discussing what the first 4 races of the year and how cars came off the truck in terms of speed. He actually put together a little spreadsheet just looking at first practice speeds from the first 4 races of this season. I think this is something I'm definitely looking at. It is a little bit, we don't know exactly their fastest lap could have been at the end of practice versus the first, but at least it's some information and a little bit of a look into who had speed. So like at Phoenix, your top 5 off the truck, we'll call it, was we got Byron. Geez, I can't find the number 2. Elliott. So we got Chevys right up there at front, and then we had Brad Keselowski. He sat third. Clint Boyer. So then we got a couple Fords there, and then Kurt Busch back to another Chevy. So it seems like early in the season, and a lot of trends here. Looking at these 4 races, actually, there's only got 3 up here. We didn't do Daytona just because the practices were a little bit different. So looking at those 3 races, some drivers that really stood out, obviously, Alex Bowman. He was second best average practice speed on the first practices in those 3, 5th, 1st, and 12th. First overall in terms of practice speed was Kurt Busch. He was 7th, 4th, and 5th. He's the only driver that was top 10 in each of those last 3 races in terms of first practice speed. So use that how you will. I'll maybe post that if he wants me to post that again here leading up to the race. Looks like we've got about 3 hours till lineup lock. So lots of time to chat, answer some questions. So if you do have questions, throw them in chat here. I've got a ticker on the bottom of this video just kind of showing that's the average finish over the last 5 years for, I think I did the top 10. A lot more to come on these videos. I just want to add more stuff like that. A lot of information to share. So definitely agree with you on 2 dominators today. And I'm just going to try something else now that I've got this live video